Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy User, and I'm back with some more Streets of Rage, specifically Streets of Rage 2. Now, I want to talk about this game just a little bit before we jump into the playthrough here, and I'm actually playing this on my Super Retron, so the controls are a little funky. My special move is where my A button would be, my normal attack is my B button, and my jump button is C, so it's going to take me a little bit of time to get kind of used to these controls, so if I miss some of these recovery from the signals, forgive me. Alright. I'm also working on killing the echo that I've had in a lot of my other videos here, so I'm hoping that this recording is a little bit better. But speaking of Streets of Rage 2, let's get down to it. This is one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. I play this game probably once or twice a year from start to finish, and I will continue to do so, probably for the rest of my life. So speaking about that, the music in this game is something that I love. I'll never get enough of it. The remixes just blow my mind. The controls are crispy and smooth, and I'm just so kind of nostalgia ridden when it comes to this. This game gives me my oldest memories of consciousness as far as being a gamer. Like, I can always remember being a kid, and no matter what age I was playing this game. So talking about this game, I did a playthrough of 1, and I kind of voiced some of my frustrations. Now, that game's a good game, but it's far from perfect. It's very clunky, the controls were stiff, the movement on screen is kind of odd at times, and they did what they could with it. This is one of the best from a first to a sequel jumps I've ever seen for a game. In a lot of ways, the controls are better. The graphics for the Sega Genesis are like some of the top tier that you can find on the console itself. In the 16-bit era, the sprites are gorgeous. The music is absolutely fucking phenomenal. One of the best soundtracks to a video game ever. And I just think as a game, it's just so well done that, 20, 30 years after the fact, if you're still playing a game like this religiously, it really transcends the amount of time. Like, the sands of time do not affect this game. There are some games, like I just played Alan Wake recently, that I didn't like, and people might be like, well, it's an older game. Well, so is this, so is Silent Hill 2, so is Resident Evil 1, but those games are still playable to this day. When you make a game good, it lasts forever, and when you mess that formula up and it's just not a great game, you can easily play it one time through and never touch it again for the rest of your life. So Streets of Rage 2 for me is one of those games that no matter what hardware it's running on, it's always going to just be one of my favorite experiences. The improvements of this game are a lot. There's four characters now that are playable. You have Axel that returns from the original game, Blaze as well, and 2 new characters, Skate and Max. I don't know why Adam isn't in this game. I don't know what prejudice they had against him up until Streets of Rage 4, when you could finally, play as him, one of the originals. But Axel and Blaze are pretty standard characters. Axel's basically like the Ryu of this game. I might say that a lot moving forward, but he's a standard character. He's good at just about everything. Skate is very fast. He can get around the screen quickly. He has a dash move that's very helpful in certain situations, but his damage output's pretty terrible. And Max as well. I mean, he's like this big hulking grappler. Moveset is very slow, but he is a functional player. Usually in a single player playthrough, people will go with Axel or Blaze. If it's 2-player or something, Max and Skate are good complementary characters in my opinion, but Max is my favorite, so that's who I'm going to be playing as. So right away as you start level 1, walk right back, press attack, you'll get an extra life. A couple new features into this game. As in Streets of Rage 1, you guys used to see that they had the special move where the cop car would come in, nuke the screen, and kill all the enemies on screen. Very cool, but it had its limitations as far as like gameplay go. This game gets rid of that and actually gives the characters themselves special moves, and I'll talk about those real quick. So you'll have what I refer to, and a lot of the community says, is a bliss attack. It's forward attack, and basically each character has their own specific move here. It does not take damage, like your character does not take a health reduction for using this. You can spam it all over the place, and I recommend doing so in certain situations in the game. I would say as far as those attacks go, Axel's is just the best. It basically has like these invincible startup frames, which head-to-head I think beat just about every other move in the game. Max's is decent. It can be good, but it's not near as good as like, I consider Axel's is like the Dragon Punch of this game, where basically it is just gonna beat anything it comes up against. Max's has its limitations, but it's not that big of a deal. I like Skates a lot as well, because his basically is like a run, and then he can do like a cannonball off of it, which is cool. I'm gonna have trouble throwing these. This Retron controller I'm using it's like I said, it's a pretty clunky controller. It's very cheap, but it can function. So there's gonna be times where I take damage or press the wrong button at times. Just whatever, just deal with it. So the other special moves that you can do are proprietary button press, and there's two of them. There's a standard button press, which basically does a screen clearing move, kind of like that, and as you can see, your character will take a health hit for using those, and if you hit forward in the attack, the special move button, you will actually do a different move. Max's is this awesome shoulder charge. There are times where I will need to use that, especially against this Barbon guy we're about to fight. Yes, Barbon from Streets of Rage 4 actually started in this game. He was bartending, by the way. So, and instead of being a crime scene to get overlord, he bartends on the weekends. Now, the movesets are a little bit better in this game as well. I think there was like a couple of primary moves in the original game that basically were like good. You had a standard combo, which these characters do as well. But there were also like, you could hold down an attack and do this kind of like a Street Fighter move that will stuff wake-up moves for the enemies. You can do a standard jump move, you can do a forward attack move, you can do this back attack, if I could do it on a shitty controller. But you had some of those tools in the first one. They've refined them greatly in this game, I'll say that. There's also a greater variety of enemies, I feel, in this game. Like here you'll have these little sub-boss guys that you can fight against, which are cool to break up the kind of the monotony of the game a little bit. Stab the shit out of you, bitch. I'm gonna stop talking so much about the game now and just start playing. God, I cannot throw the knife. Get off. Like I said earlier, you want to get in and grapple these guys with Max. He is just an absolute fucking powerhouse. He has, I think, the most damaging move in the game. If you can actually get the enemy from behind, he does this like atomic drop move that will deduct like 75% health on some of the enemies in this game. It is just absolutely essential. Setting it up though is kind of, iffy at times. Another health item already. The game's very generous with the health items to start with. It's very simplistic first couple of levels. A lot of people actually play this game on the standard difficulty of hard. I'm playing on medium just for the sake of this playthrough and getting through this game. Max actually has specific throws that he can activate. The atomic drop is one, and from the front facing view you can actually do a jump and throw, which is pretty nifty. It'll, of course a lot of the throw moves in this game are built to hit other enemies on screen as well, so you can kind of pile up a little bit of damage on multiple, like splash damage, I guess you could call it. I thought I had the atomic drop there and missed it. So we're walking our way through this bar. As you can tell, you start on literally the streets, kind of like the first game, and you'll kind of progress to different little areas throughout the city. It gets to the point where you kind of get on this like cargo ship and you go to this kind of like this island. It's actually pretty cool. It sucks that this didn't become like a movie or something. I think this game translated well to like theaters, but then there's of course a new Resident Evil movie that just came out this year, which was fucking disgrace. I can't even believe that I wanted to go see that at one point. Glad I didn't waste my money. But I'm sure they would find a way to ruin this. It's basically with this electric chick. I just try to get in close and just spam some throw moves. One good thing about Max that he has that none of the other characters have because of his big size, during his one point in his standard combo, it'll actually hit the enemies behind you, and also when he has a pipe weapon or one of the larger weapons in this game, if you swing it, the standard swing actually hits, it has a hitbox that will hit behind you and also in front of you. So you can kind of have defensive, usages with those weapons a little bit better than the other characters. Now they all can use a weapon, don't get me wrong here, but Max is the only one that can basically use it. Alright, we were able to get the recovery roll on that swing. I'll show you why I like the special move against Barbon. He can actually go into a blocking state and he will just absorb a ton of damage. Of course, he's just not going to do it here. And if you're familiar with Streets of Rage 4, you guys know about that fucking kick there. There it is. Nice. 3 for 3 on recoverables. That Barbon kick is literally from Streets of Rage 2, that one he just kills you with all the time in 4. He was one of the hardest bosses in that game until they nerfed him. So we got an extra life there, which is pretty cool. So we're up to 6. By like stage 3, we'll have probably 9. There's another extra life on this level as well. It's hidden. I'll show you where that's at later. This is probably the most frustrating level with Max because there's a ton of these guys on like dirt bikes. They're kind of a problem just because, how slow this big Hulk is versus those speedy bikes that come across the screen. There's one of them just kind of giving you, hey, these are going to be coming at you here soon. Alright, Axe, we gotta clean these fucking streets up. So it looks like we're making our way across this bridge. Gotta be careful. These Donovan guys will have a anti-air move soon once the AI kind of ramps up here. And they're kind of a fucking problem to deal with at that point. You can't jump into a crowd of guys if there's a Donovan. He will anti-air you every time. Almost thought I had that timed up right. Now we're getting this new enemy, these like dirt bike guys. They're not the worst characters in the game, but they have this standing roundhouse move that will basically just annihilate you. It's real quick. It must have like a 2 or 3 frame startup. It's fucking insane. And for Max, it can kind of be troublesome because of how slow his startup move is. And another problem is all these guys with these shitty little jabs in on you as you're walking around. That's fine. That doesn't happen if you're Axel or like Skater Blaze or something like that. They're fast enough they can get away from the enemies and you can react quick enough to them. So I use the down jumping attack to give that elbow because the hitbox is a little bit better to deal with the dirt bikes when they're coming across the ring. And you're probably just going to take damage here at times. Like, the bikes come off screen so fast that you're just going to take hits. It's fine. You don't want to pipe with me, I promise you. I just want to get the turkey, buddy. Get away from all that. There we go. I just need them points. This is one of the funnier parts. I remember this as a kid. I'd be like in the back of this truck, like jumping around, kicking these boxes and stuff. And again, we're gonna get another new enemy type here. It's kind of this like half samurai, half ninja or something. I really don't know what I would consider this guy, but in the new game, he is an absolute nightmare to deal with. Another one will spawn here as well, so that's fine. Tom and drop your bitch ass. That knee up your ass like that would probably just shift your pelvis and like splatter parts of your spinal cord. But it's not us, it's fine. Here's the extra life. You go up to the top corner, press attack, extra life. So we're up to 7 now. There's the anti-air. I guess we're starting early. Must be a holiday for Donovan or something. He's all giddy to fucking throw them elbows at us. That's fine. We'll just cave his head through the construction work here. Not a big deal. And his combo is a little slow, so there are going to be times in the game I get jabbed out of it, but whatever. I think Max has more health than a lot of the other characters, so we can tank a little bit more, but it's whatever. In 4, they've sped his combos up a lot, and of course he can do a lot more with like OTGs and stuff. bounce damage off walls. Like, his character has been redefined for that game. So going back to this version of him is actually a little bit frustrating just because of how slow he is here. He's not unusable, don't get me wrong, but when you get used to that speed, you know, going back to this slowness is a little iffy. So we are gonna fight this guy with a jetpack here. He's not too bad on his own. So what you want to do, I'll try to show you a bit. A lot of the AI in this game can be kind of manipulated. What you want to do is walk across the stage and get in front of him. He's going to go into this like Superman Raiden scream dive at you. So you can basically just keep milking that out and doing jumping attacks, and it will win every time. You just do neutral jump attack, and he'll just eat that every single time. I don't even think he's hit me once. He's a pretty easy boss, but we'll be seeing him again later. I thought he was a cool boss too. Like, as a kid, you know, you have this guy just flying around with the other enemies on the screen, like taking little pot shots at you. Like, I always thought that was really cool. Oh, fuck, I forgot the soundtrack is so good. It's so good. So Dreamer is one of those songs that literally haunted me until the YouTube generation started and I could actually find it and listen to it again. So nice. So, like you just saw, Atomic Drop, one and done with those kind of guys. Some of the boss, like I said, you can take 75% health off of some of these guys with this. And I actually like using the pipe this way because it's faster. Like, you actually get the hitbox like almost like one frame out, it seems like. So we're kind of going through this, like, I guess this amusement park area. I always used to think of this as like a Disneyland or something, but like it's one of those like little smaller areas. We can go through here and bust the arcade all up, and it looks like these guys were playing Bare Knuckle. If you don't know, which, you know, everyone in the internet knows at this point, that Bare Knuckle was actually this game's Japanese name, counterpart or whatever. It's called Streets of Rage here, I guess, in North America. In Japan, it's called Bare Knuckle. So if you didn't know, now you know, bitch. Take this ass whooping, or like I said, this jumping elbow really stuffs a lot of the AI's wake up stuff, which I use it all the time because of that. It'll beat attacks head up if you time it right. Fuck yeah, so get away from me, you guys are fucking sick. You gotta be shitting me. Go to the hospital and get this one Galcia stabbing my fucking guts out. I can't believe that stupid douchebag did that much damage to me. Alright. Cave some more heads in here, and then we're gonna head back outside and deal with yet another new enemy type, and it may be Max's worst type to kind of fight against. Like I said, he's... Hey, nice to see you. Attack. And of course, this guy also, I guess, has a anti-air kick now. Great. I don't know if you guys can hear this controller. You can literally hear the button presses. This controller is so clunky. But we make it work. That's what we do here. Alright, so we're heading back out to this pirate ship or something. I don't even know what's going on. And we're going to fight these new enemies. Take some... I don't know what that is. Like, if you have an idea what that sprite is of a health item, let me know. I always called it an apple, or I think I would associate it with an apple. I don't know. And the game actually has a courtesy to give me a nice little room up here, so that's pretty sweet. It's actually just out in the open. I think that's like one of the only ones in this entire game. So you got these guys. These, I guess they're ninjas or something. I'm not quite sure. They are a fucking nightmare to deal with, Max. Just drop kick you. Oh man, fucking ape shit crazy with that sword, alright? Jesus, I can't believe I fucking died. Holy shit, I'm getting fucking bodied. That's freaking embarrassing. You guys can just skip that part. It's fine. As an MLG pro, trying to get sponsored by Red Bull Monster and all the other energy drink and G Fuel. If you guys are watching this, skip that part, okay? I'd like to give a special shout out to my friend Tonino. He usually will comment on my videos, except he's my Italian little saucy boy. I love it. I'd love to feature some of his creativity on this channel at some point, because he's one of the most creative people I've ever been around. But he refuses to, you know, move in with me and be my friend. It's fine. Don't worry about that time. No big deal. He'd rather live with a pug dog that, you know, breathes so loud you can't even hear yourself think. Ooh. See, he can interrupt my combo with that straight right. That's kind of annoying. Throw it! Alright, there we go. Usually throwing weapons isn't that big of a deal, but on this controller board, it's a hassle. It is a chore to do it. It's like shaped like a Super Nintendo controller, so like I'm sure if you've played any kind of 16-bit game, you understand the 16-bit, like the NES controller. And it's just the buttons are a lot cheaper, and when they're spaced out kind of the way they are here, to do a simultaneous button press, this isn't like Mario jumping, like you're running and then jumping. That always felt good. This is like you're hopping your thumb too far to perform that action as quick as you need to, which is like, you know, like you have a little bit of a frame input to do some of the actions in this game. So to reactionarily do it is very difficult, I'll say that. I'm about to stuff that. Use a lot of these throw moves to your advantage in this game. The AI is going to try to swarm all over you and get behind you and shit. You have to use the throws in this game to do splash damage to, you know, hit multiple enemies. Max doesn't really have a good one that throws, like launches the enemies across screen like Axel or Skate or somebody would, but you can still do like the jump and throw to really add up a lot of damage with you guys. Come on screen. I can't even fucking fight you guys half the time. You're just standing off screen dancing around. Like, get over here. So that little eerie sound we're hearing as a kid really messed me up. I was like, man, what is in the background there? We're about to find another extra life here as well. Right. So we're about to fight this thing. I've still to this day, as a full-grown adult, have no idea what this is. It's like this giant thing that comes out of the wall. I'm not really sure. And if this is an amusement park, like, why would this be here? People are going to be paying tickets to come in on this ride and walk through this spooky area. And look at me. This thing can damage me. Think if like a 10-year-old kid was walking through here and that thing hit you. Like, what are you gonna do? So what you do is whenever you beat the boss, you walk to the middle of the screen and go directly down. Press attack. Again, there's another one up down there. It's kind of hidden off screen. I gotta get mentally ready for this fucking guy. Alright, good. You gotta get the sword away from him right away. It's fucking life or death. Because if you don't, he's going to haunt you all the way into the boss fight, just pestering you, taking chips of damage away. Shit. So I used to call this guy Blanca as a kid. Like, looks like fucking Blanca from Street Fighter. I just couldn't see, you know, the difference here. He has that spin attack. He's like spinning all over the screen. The only thing he has that's different is the dive kick, which, you know, if he was a Street Fighter character and had a dive kick, get fucked. Come on. I thought I could neutral jump beat that. I guess not. So there's a trick to beat some of the bosses in this game with Max. You basically let them wake up. Ooh. Come on. Oh, I could have atomic dropped him. I'm glad that killed him regardless, but he's very easy to deal with if you play as Axel. With Max, it's a little bit different because some of these characters, you have a trick to beat them. And Max's all revolve around the Lariat. The Lariat has invincibility startup frames, like most of the special moves in this game. But if you time it just right, you can do the Lariat, beat their Wake Up move because you're still in invincibility frames. And you can basically just go into the atomic drop over and fucking over again until literally you're just, the game is begging for mercy. So, more knife guys. Again, this is one of the situations where the pipe, knife, sword, whatever, critical to your success with Max. Unless you're some like Twitch stream fucking speedrunner guy that does this game no damage, you're gonna need the pipe. Just get real here. We're gonna clean out some of these assholes from the park. As you can see in the background, I think that's the amusement park we were just at. In my opinion, that's cool. Music, funky. It's just so fucking funky. God, it's so good. I'm glad I'm not on camera. I don't think I will ever be on camera for this channel, but if I was, you're missing a lot of dancing, head nodding. We're getting into this shit hard. Always fucking forget about that. And, alright. See, Axel, I think, his grand upper would be that move. Ah, damn it. Throw it. Take it. Take the fucking throw. Bait that. Alright, there we go. This part's pretty sweet too. You're actually out on like this Major League Baseball field as the level. I always thought that was cool as shit. Alright. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this is where the Donovans are gonna start anti-air punching me out of everything. So I'm basically gonna be very prohibited and limited in my jumping ability at this point. If there's a Donovan and you do that, you're gonna lose, essentially. Like Donovans. There's a good spot where the throw moves in this game kind of save my life. Again, if you want, pick this pipe up because you're gonna have protection front and back, or just be a Twitch streamer or whatever. To be honest with you guys, it's been a while since I've played this game, and the difference between this and my Streets Rage 1 video is I'm playing and I'm having fun, as to where Streets Rage 1, you're so limited in combat, there are times you just straight up are just going to get bullied by the game, like you don't have a choice. The game is going to just have its way with you, the enemies are faster, you don't have special moves to get out of certain situations, you're just going to have to sit there and take it while the game, oh, okay, it's a weird hitbox on that. Playing kind of like shite right now, which is alright, I guess. Again, we're about to face a new enemy type here soon, so I love these guys. So I usually just refer to them as Big Ben. I think Street Rage 4 does as well. The enemy type window, because you can just kind of fight in a free-for-all area. Come down here, take the pipe, take it. Where are you, buddy? These new guys are kind of big, they're fat, and they're tough to throw. Now, in Street Rage 1, I believe the Big Bens were just a specific boss type, and they were so fat you couldn't throw them. Like, they were too heavy for your character to lift. It's not really an issue in this game for the most part. I believe all the characters can pick them up and throw them. I like that head crush move a lot. Yeah, no problem for Max. That's just the usual day at the office, picking big fat fucks up like that, throwing them around. So we have our first of two elevators in this game. Both these elevators are notorious for people getting their asses beat, just like the first game's elevator. It seems like if there's an elevator in these games, you're just buckling up to take fucking cheap shots across the face, because there's no mercy. There's usually usually no health items. If there is, there's one at the very beginning. And of course, after your first couple of confrontations with AI, you're going to be begging to use it right off the bat. So I usually like to just hunker down here in one of the corners, and then once I kind of clear the screen, I'll kind of move across. The slide's a very good, move here in this situation to kind of get away from some of these falling enemies as well. You can't jump because the Donovans are going to anti-air you, so just get ready to slide across the screen. And of course, abuse the throw mechanics as much as possible, even if you're not max. Tried to move out of the way, it just wasn't happening. Oh, alright. Him and that Electra, the whip chicks, they have a really weird startup jump that seemed to win a lot. I don't know, the hitbox or something really weird on it. I'm not really sure. Cool, we're already done with that. So we're at the boss now, and this is one of the coolest bosses when I was a kid in any video game. So you go onto this like secret fight ring, and you're about to, take on this guy, and you see all these fans here. I always called him Ultimate Warrior as a kid, because let's get fucking real, it's who he is. I think his name's Abadede or something, I'm not really sure. So he has another weird way of winning, as in with Max, you get close, you do that, and with the invincibility frames from it, you should be able to initiate a grapple. But I don't know the timing. I don't know if it's just me as a player or what, but I've never been able to get the timing down for that correct. Nice. I thought he was going to beat my ass there. He's very difficult to grapple. A lot of the characters, if you start beating on him or something, he goes into this like invincibility move where he'll just hit everyone off of him. Very difficult to deal with. In Streets of Rage 4, there's a throw mechanic where if the AI characters are good at throwing, you can kind of, they'll neutral break the throw with you. It's really difficult to explain, but that Abade guy will do that as well. Right off the fucking bat, these Galcias are just going insane. Jesus. Give me a second to fucking drink a cup of coffee or something. You guys just kiss me on the lips when I wake up. Jeez. Welcome to the party. And the AI color scheme kind of changed here towards the mid part of the game. I don't know if that means they're tougher enemies or what, but they're a little bit more intimidating, I guess, imposing with that new color scheme. Got it, your heart. Break your face off. Just take it. Alright. So again, another just killer soundtrack. The boat levels in both of these games has the best music. I was actually disappointed with one level in the 4 game, and that was the boat. That was my least favorite one. After these 2 boat levels from 1 and 2, a lot to live up to, and they just didn't hit the mark with me in 4. Like the music was just odd, and like the level itself, I just wasn't a big fan of, honestly. Again, if you get surrounded, Max really doesn't have a good option to get the characters off of him because you know how slow he is. So I have to use his special move to basically do it and just eat a little bit of health. Not a big deal, but you know if you do that like a few times, it's gonna take its toll on you. Another new enemy type. Surprise, guys! This is the Raven. Again, in Streets of Rage 4 players will be very familiar with that asshole. With the dojo level, he is a son of a bitch. I'll just say that much. Very tough enemy in this game. They go range between, they won't even fight back, they'll surround you and 0 to 100 you in literally a couple hits. So it varies, I guess. And we have another Barbon here. And guess he's in an anti-air mood today. Jesus. Alright. That was a good one. Okay. He is just programmed not to take any shit from me, I guess. I was trying to do the elbow to stuff him with makeup, but he was just wasn't having it. Let's get this sword and just start dealing out fucking hospital bills ASAP. In your face, take it. So as you can see here, our buddy Jet's back. Great, right? He's just gonna fuck me out of the air. Problem is, when you fight him with other enemies on screen, like, you can't focus on him. There's all this other shit going on. So get him to line up straight ahead with you is kind of a chore. Boy, get out of the corner. Let's see if we can... There we go. Just focus on these fucking Donovans. I want that sword. Go. So we're gonna have more of these murder bite guys. Luckily they don't ride across the screen with anything. They are fast. I don't know why their movement speed's so awkward and it catches me off guard a lot of the time. Come on. Are we fighting or what are we doing? If I could just survive another couple steps here, I got another life. I just want the sword, because if I give these ninjas a sword, boy, it's just absolutely fucking nightmare fuel. Take that fucking bomb. There we go, got in the face. You can't fuck around. You have to kill that guy as soon as he comes down. You son of a bitch. He has a fucking invincibility to wake up, I guess. Because, you know, of course, he did that. Oh, he's fast enough and fucking invulnerable to shit already. I love how there's these axes in the background and you just can't go up into it and take it off the wall and defend yourself. You can just, everybody better have good insurance at this point, because this sword's going through everybody right now. So this boss, again, if you're a good max player, you should be able to use the lariat to invincibility frame throw him. I'm not. So we're gonna have to do this the old school way and pray to God that we don't have this guy cave our fucking head in. Get fucking out. He has an invincibility, like a shuriken move himself, so he's very, very difficult to deal with. Ah, shit. Health up. Alright. I'm in good shape. He's one of the harder bosses. He has 2 stars. Basically, the stars indicate health, like how much health the enemy has. So you should be able to do that, miss the uppercut, and basically do an atomic drop. Like I said, I just don't know the timing. I've never really toyed with that enough to understand it. Axel is usually my go-to to kind of beat this game in solo, because he can just grand upper his way through the whole fucking game, no problem. I mean, like, this guy's grand upper move is just unreal. Gotta get him talking. Another just banging fucking soundtrack here. Yuzo Koshiro is just absolutely murdering it right now. This is another just stage. It's just littered with 2 great soundtracks. Once we get out of this beach, we actually go into almost like a war zone where they must hide like all their equipment to do their illegal activities or something like that. And it just Take that, you whore. Oh, okay. Get your shot! Sounds like a move like Chun-Li would do when she's like throwing a projectile or something. So we gotta fight a wave of these guys, and then we're about to get into a bunch of kickboxers. So I'm trying to take my time here, big screen, because these guys are gonna, like I said, I feel like they're a really bad matchup for Max as a character. He's just so slow. Shit. I love their character design. Condor and his anti-air kick is just beating my ass. Alright, take it. So, here we go. We're in the guts of the fucking hard stuff here. Give me some health. We're about to get into an absolute war zone. You're gonna have all these signals coming at you from all sides, too. Dog. There's another one of them. Those blue signals going fucking nuts. Shit. Alright. I didn't remember that many signals being at the very start of this level or whatever, but gosh, come on. Alright, I feel like I gotta be about due for life up here at some point. A lot of these enemies, if you're familiar with, you know, Street Fighter properties and like using moves to stuff Wake Up and understanding some of the invincibility frames with some other fighting games, you should be right at home with Streets of Rage 2. Again, I think that's a really cool aspect to this game's play mechanics, is like how it translates to just other fighting games. If this game was a 2D tournament fighter like that, I feel like the mechanics for the characters would already be in place to kind of make a balanced fighting game with some slight tweaks. What the fuck? That even hit me. Alright, so we're gonna have basically nothing but like 4 or 5 enemies on the screen at this point, so we've really gotta... With Axel and the other characters, you can actually break out of that pretty easily. Off. Fucking bomb. Gale. It's like an HR lady. And the bikes are gonna get just tons of cheap shots in on you. Like with Max again, you're just gonna have to take it. I don't know like really any strategy here other than to memorize the entire game. We done. So the reason why you accumulate all them lives earlier in the game is because here's where the game starts getting fucking criminally insane. There's gonna be 2 or 3 whip chicks on screen, biker guys, like dudes with pipes. Like this is just, look at this shit. Her fucking whip has an anti-air defense property. What the f? That has to be Max only. There you go. That was a good solid combo. Take the fucking combo. Again, probably the best boss music other than a Dark Souls game or something fires up. Gotta get your game face on because we're about to go into war. We're fighting one of our buddies from earlier in the game, Blanca. Immediately shurikens me with claws. So head to head, I don't think I have a move that actually beats him. Now, if you're desperate here for a strategy, you're getting overwhelmed, you can basically worry about Blanca. If you kill him, the other guy will die as well, so... Son of a fucking bitch. Oh, I keep missing the atomic drop. Get off me. There you go. Get out of my face. So I took a life there. Not a big deal. I think we're still in good shape. I want to try to beat this game without using a continue, so hopefully that happens. Ooh, okay, so we got that life back. Very, very cool. So, we're in another factory here, just like Street Fighter 1. This one's not as hard. I hated that factory level in Street Fighter 1. It absolutely the worst level in that game. All those things from the top of the ceilings could hit you. There were enemies that were just insanely difficult. We're talking like Galcia's on absolute steroids to the max. They should be getting drug checked over at these places, but I guess they don't. Buffet. Get the fuck out of here. I always thought that Buffet guy, those Big Bens, looked like the, I forget what they called him. Tiny from Roadhouse. Dude that's fat, has the suspenders and stuff. I swear that they designed that character after that guy. It's a one-screen character. So we'll just wait to use the health there, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to take damage at some point. Get on screen! I can't fight you! Hunkered in the fucking corner! These fucking guys throwing grenades just to waste your fucking time. Hurry up. Thank you. You done? Yeah, go home. Mom probably put a turkey in the oven or whatever. Your little fucking munchable meal. I don't see you. Like I dropped the pipe. Alright, this part gets kind of frustrating. You're already slow, and now you get him. Ooh, can't believe I timed that up that way. Yeah. Shit, can't believe I timed that up that way. Yeah, you can't fuck around. She'll just go in. Another one up. Very cool. Not gonna complain. What the? I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm basically like 10 for 10 on those recovery rolls. Take that fucking head. Shit. You leave this guy a sliver of life, and he can take away half yours. Like, you can't mess around with him. Alright, we'll take that turkey eye. This combination of enemy in this game is so fucking frustrating, because basically they complement each other real well. Like, what Electra's bad at, that Ninja's great at, is speed across the screen. She's a really good kind of tanky, hold down position character, and he's not. And of course, you have to deal with this stupid treadmill thing. So every time you get close, you'll hit her away, and you have to wait another fucking hour until she trots her way back over in her heels. I don't know what that move is, but I don't like it. Get out of here. Take that. We done yet? Alright, get ready. Another great soundtrack. OST. But this shit's intense. This is probably the hardest section of the entire game. I'm killing it with these recoveries. Shitty controller too. Let's go. You can't shake me. Oh my god, I picked the fucking turkey up already trying to kill him. Damn. Shit. You may not make it past this point if you're playing for your first time. This is usually where people love to get waved goodbye. The stretcher comes out, the EMS show up. Alright, boy. Get out. This part on like hard mode is just fucking disgusting. Like, there are enemies, like basic enemies that have like 2-3 stars on this part, and you're fighting all of them. They're all twice as difficult, and they have 3 times more life. I mean, like, it's just out of control. God! Just right here. There you go. Be a normal enemy, like normal. That's what I signed up for. Let's come over here and get the fucking, put in the blender. Come on. He blocks it. Yeah, get rid of it. Come and get it! I'm not even looking, guys. Take it. Just take it. Get over here and get it. Ooh, you little fuck. I'm not fighting fair. Screw that. Ibis. Guys. Rest in peace, Ibis. He was a good TIE fighter. This is another one of the hard combinations. I don't know why. The Big Bens and these thugs. And there's of course a Donovan has to fucking be in there lingering around. Drop. Do you guys see how much damage I did? I literally wasn't lying earlier. He is like 3 or 4 stars health. Good grief. Got one down, thank God. Soya is a tough son of a bitch. If you can get him in the loop where basically you can just stuff him on wake up, you just go throw heavy on him. And here's the boss. I don't really know how to describe these enemies. I guess they're like robots or something. At some point, the boss of Streets of Rage decided he wanted to make an army of robots. I guess, I don't know. They're very difficult to deal with. They can either be a very easy boss or the most difficult fight in the game. There's like really no in between. Right now they're kind of being a little bit, yeah. So if you grab them, they'll electrocute you, and they have this like 1-frame ball that'll hit you as well. It's so disgusting. You have a laser they can shoot. Like they're so fast. And being a fast enemy, like I said, Max is kind of weak against those kind of guys. So. Can I fucking fight you or what? Get out! Get out! Gotcha. Let me deal with you. Molecule. That's exactly what I... Oh, I got him, alright. What a heroic end screen. I'm just laying flat on my back, KO'd, like I just got knocked out. And we're starting the last level of this game. I can't believe I made this far in this good a shape. So if you're here with 9 lives, you're gonna lose a bunch of them before you even. I'll just show you. Knife guy and a molecule right away. Imagine fighting a Galcia and also a fucking robot, like opposite end of the spectrum you can be on. Like, imagine being the cop arresting all these guys. What do? Bring handcuffs for those robots too? Like, do you take them in? Hey buddy, nice to see you again. Bear Jr., I guess, was Bear's son. They are identical, both have the same mustache. We'll just consider him his own separate guy. How's your father doing? Did he recover from the last time I beat his ass? You really a big pipe fan here, huh? Come on. It's like fucking AI calculating how to get in here and land all them fucking cheap shots. Not happening, buddy. Not today. Not on my watch. Ain't fucking happening. You son of a bitch. There we go. Get the fuck away from me. Unlike Streets of Rage 1, with its super unfair bullshit hallway, this one has another elevator. And at least this one, it is bullshit, but at the same time, it's tolerable. Like, it's not totally putting you at a complete disadvantage. I mean, it is, but it's not near as bad as that hallway, by far. We're killing it, recovery rules. You can't fuck with me, Barbon. Fuck, just die. He's eyeing me up for that Barbon kick, and I ain't having it. Of course, you're gonna have all these generic thug enemies in the hallway too. Okay, I guess Blanca's back for a 3-peat. Okay. Guess I'll try that one. I have nothing that can beat that. Son of a bitch. There we go! Get the fuck away from me. Now we do have an Ultimate Warrior coming up here as well, and I thought it was dropping there, maybe not. He is a nightmare in this elevator, I'm not gonna lie. Because the strategy to beat him, basically, you almost can't do it here. Holy shit. Alright, we're down to 8. Alright, good. So as you're gonna see here, just like the first game, Mr. X is just kind of hanging out, and he has a little buddy with him this time. Now, this guy became like this cult hit with the fans. His name is Shiva, or Shiva, or whatever, I don't know. And of course, you have this little face-off of this, henchman guys here, and Shiva basically is gonna get the okay to come out here and beat your fucking ass to the curb. Shiva is a son of a bitch. I hate this fucking character. You can't throw him. Well, you can, but good luck. If he grabs you, immediately press the special move button. Because otherwise, you're going to take a full combo and... Ah! I almost had him in the combat ball. Man, he is, like, not possible with Max. Holy shit. Get away from him. On the harder modes, good fucking luck. Like, just, that's all I have to say. So here we are. We're facing down Mr. X. He's gonna immediately come after you with the gun. I don't know if you have a cheat move you can do it. That's the time to use it right off the bat. Fuck off! Get off of me! There goes a life. In seconds. Gotta watch out, these Donomans are anti-air and everything. Yep. God. He's so slow. I'm trying to slide under that. Just like the first boss fight from the original game, I don't have a good strategy here. I just go I'm tanking damage as much as I can. I don't know what else to try. Shit. Come on. Got his ass. I'm a fucking war. Holy shit. Not near as bad as the original game. I had to turn that down to easy mode and I still barely could beat it. But this game, I feel like the difficulty is, it makes the game fun and challenging. There's not like an extreme. You can turn it on to mania mode or hard or whatever you want to do, but for the most part, this game's difficulty is acceptable. So here you get the ending. Basically, the whole squad pulls up after you've done all the hard work, and they're just like, "Hey, Max, way to go, you did it!" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." I'm not quite sure what happens to Max after this game, because he's not in the third Streets of Rage, which I fucking refuse to play. Streets of Rage 3 has one of the worst difficulties in history. I've never been able to get past like the second or third level. I found out through research that it's because the American version is disgusting in difficulty. I don't know why. I guess the Japanese version, it's pretty standard to beat that game and people actually enjoy it that way, but I don't have a means of playing it. I don't have a ROM or anything. So you can see here at the end of this game, you actually rescue Adam from the first game, which is pretty cool. I just much rather him be a playable character, but that's just me. And you see Yuzo Koshiro did the music. I watched a really interesting making of with this game. I guess the team that did Sonic on the Game Gear actually got the okay to work on this game, and it was basically like one of those, you have to hit a home run with this or else like your careers are just over. And when they did the music, they explained like the sound chip for the Genesis and how they were able to maximize all this awesome color and all these different kind of like layers with like the graphics and stuff. It was a really interesting video, and it makes me appreciate this a little bit more just because this game is just awesome. It's simple. You don't have a lot of reading to do. The story is, there's a bad guy, save the city, save your friend. You go and beat the shit out of everybody in your way, and at the end you get this happy-go-lucky kind of like ride off into the sunset ending, and I'm okay with that. So up until this game, there was just 1, 2, and 3. There's actually a 4th now, which I have had a little bit of playthrough videos with that. The boss battle mode, which was like DLC, which is so fun. But I think I'm gonna do a playthrough of 4 next. Like I said, I really don't think 3 is canon. I just didn't like that one. And 4, again, amazing game. This series of games is, in my opinion, the best beat 'em ups ever made, and I think that they backed it up with the gameplay. If you stuck around this long, thanks for checking this video out. Comment below if you had any suggestions how I can deal with these bosses a little bit better. If you enjoyed the video, awesome, great. I don't monetize my videos. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to enjoy myself, make friends, and produce content. That's fun. So thanks guys, peace out.